On Global TV News Prime, President Bola Tinubu orders immediate resolution of doctors' strike. In business, fuel import duty marketers warn 15% levy threatens operation. And on the foreign scene, Kenyan opposition leader condemns Tanzania election. And in sports, Ineweche leads Nigeria's contingent to Saudi Games. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare to ensure the members of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors who are on strike resume work immediately. The directive was disclosed by the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, during a press briefing in Abuja, following the total and indefinite strike declared by NARD on Saturday. The Coordination Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, and all top management staff of the ministry would like to express our regrets and unconditional apology to Nigerians, especially those who needed to access health care in the last 48 hours who could not do it as a result of the strike action by NARD, end of quote. The federal government has appealed to the striking resident doctors to consider the effort being made by the government to address their demands and go back to work. Minister of State for Health, Dr. Isiaq Adekunle Salako, made the appeal today during a ministerial press brief in the ministry. Global TV health correspondent Zara Nasser was there at the news briefing and now reports.
The Minister of State for Health said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the ministry to do everything possible to end the strike which started on Saturday. He explained that towards this end, the government has already released the sum of 11.9 billion naira to settle parts of their salary arrears and allowances.
The Minister of Finance has met with them. The Minister of Labour and Productivity has met with them. Minister of State for Finance has also met with them to try and address all the 19 issues that they raised. And today, I can tell you that most of those issues are being addressed.
The Minister of State apologized to Nigerians who could not access health services within this period and reassured them that it will soon be a history.
We would like to express our regrets and an unconditional apology to Nigerians, especially those who needed to access health care in the last 48 hours, who could not do it as a result of the strike action by National Association of Resident Doctors.
Vice Chairman Committee of Chief Medical Directors and MDS of the Federal Tertiary Health Institutions, Dr. Yahaya Baba Adamu said all the emergency services will be open and running within this period.
So the Federal Tertiary Health Institution are maintaining their clinics, even though it may not be in full scale as it used to be when all hands were on deck, but they are running.
The event was attended by various stakeholders in the health sector with the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, among others. Zahra Nasser reporting for Global TV News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has reaffirmed its total readiness for the Anambra State governorship election scheduled for Saturday, 8th November 2025, assuring citizens and stakeholders of a peaceful, transparent, and credible process. INEC Chairman Professor Josiah Amupiton gave the assurance during a high-level inspection visit to the Commission's state office in Akwa ahead of signing of peace accord in Akwa, the state capital. And the chairman also cautioned against what he described as attempts by vested interests to discredit the process, stressing that INEC remained focused and undeterred in the discharge of its constitutional mandate. In another development ahead of the November 8th governorship election in Anambra State, the Nigerian Police Force has deployed an advanced tactical team, helicopters and surveillance drones to the state as part of measures to ensure a hitch-free exercise. The Commissioner of Police in Anambra, Ikoyi Orotugu, disclosed this while addressing journalists in Akwa, saying the deployment was approved by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetoku. He said the move is in line with the 4 strategic operational plan to reinforce local formations with additional manpower and advanced technical support, including aerial surveillance tools. Over now to Imo State Judiciary has commenced the 2025-26 legal year with a strong call for judicial reforms, improved welfare for judges, and renewed confidence in justice system. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe reports from Owerri.
It was a solemn yet symbolic ceremony at the Justice Oputa High Court Complex, Owerri, as members of the bench, the bar, and top government officials converged to mark the new legal year with the theme Rekindling Judicial Excellence, the bar, the bench, and the burden of restoration. Governor Hope Uzodinma, represented by his deputy Chinyere Komaru, reaffirmed his administration's commitment to upholding judicial independence and ensuring better working conditions for judicial workers.
Restoring judicial excellence is a task that must be accomplished urgently. A lot of people are resorting to self-help, and impunity is growing in the land because the populace are losing faith in the machinery for administration of justice.
The acting Chief Judge of Imo State, Justice Ijeoma Agogua, in her keynote address, reflected on the history and essence of legal year tradition. She called for modernization of court processes through digitalization, improved infrastructure, and stronger protection of citizens' rights. The chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Owerri Branch, Barrister Chris Ihentuge, emphasized cooperation between the bench and the bar and appealed for the resumption of Monday court sittings to ease case congestion.
Let us together build a justice system where the poor can walk into court without fear, where judgments are delivered promptly, and where every arm of government operates in its constitutional space with mutual respect.
Also speaking, the chairman of the Body of Senior Advocates of Nigeria, Imo State, Chief Mike Ahamba San, commended the judiciary's resilience and urged continued courage in defending the rule of law. The ceremony ended with renewed commitment from all stakeholders to strengthen justice delivery and uphold the ideas of fairness, integrity, and judicial excellence. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
The new president of the Nigerian Navy Officers' Wives Association, NOAA, has taken over the reins of leadership. The handover ceremony held at the NOAA Secretariat in Abuja marks a moment of reflection, gratitude, and reward commitment to service and community impact. Samuel Odi reports for Global TV News.
The outgoing NOAA President, Mrs. Ijeoma Blessing Ogala, who was represented by the Vice President of NOAA, Dr. Zainab Akpan, handed over the mantle of leadership to her successor, Aisha Idi Abbas, in a ceremony attended by senior naval officers' wives, members of the association, and invited guests. In her valedictory speech, Mrs. Akpan expressed appreciation to the Nigerian Navy and members of NOAA for their unwavering support during her tenure. She highlighted the association's achievements in women's empowerment, education, and welfare, describing her years in office as a journey of purpose and collective impact.
At this moment, I wish to sincerely acknowledge and appreciate every member for their support through this journey. Serving as the 22nd Vice President of this distinguished association has been one of the greatest honors of my life, and I will forever hold dearly.
The outgoing president urged every member of the association to throw their weight behind the new president and leadership of NOAA, appreciating the outgoing Chief of Naval Staff for his unwavering support throughout her tenure.
I extend my heartfelt congratulations. I am confident that your leadership will be guided by wisdom, compassion, and vision. And I also believe you will steer this association to even greater heights.
In her acceptance speech, the new NOWA president, Aisha Idi Abbas, commended the outgoing NOWA president for her services to the association and the country at large.
I pledge to build upon the solid foundation you have laid and to uphold the values and principles that define the association. Our role as naval officers' wives is to provide robust support that ensures the well-being and welfare of our members.
As leadership changed hands at NOWA, the spirit of unity and service that has defined the association continues to inspire women within the Nigerian Navy, family, and also a bond of service that extend beyond the uniform of their spouse. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
The crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party appears to be far from over. A faction led by Mohammed Abdurrahman has taken over the party's national secretariat, Wadata Plaza in Abuja, claiming to be the authentic leadership of the PDP. Our political correspondent, Ubong Osoro, tells us more.
Tensions heightened today at the Wadata Plaza headquarters of the People's Democratic Party as a faction loyal to the National Secretary, Senator Sam Anyanwu, stormed the secretariat alongside Mohammed Abdurrahman, who declared himself the new chairman of the party. Until its emergence, Abdurrahman served as the vice chairman of the North Central Zone of the PDP. He was declared acting national chairman on the 3rd of November 2025 by a faction of the National Working Committee led by Senator Anyanwu. After his inauguration, Abdurrahman pledged to unite the party and restore internal democracy, promising to, in his word, heal the PDP of its wound and end factionalism.
Now we can put our head together to make sure that we bring this party to where it belongs to. We all know the slogan of our party is People's Democratic Party, and the power is to the people.
The takeover occurred amid heavy security presence around the secretariat to prevent any breakdown of law and order. Prominent PDP figures, including former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose, have, however, welcomed Abdurrahman's emergence, describing it as a new beginning for the party. As at the time of this report, calm has returned to the area, though the party remains sharply divided over its leadership structure. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
The Federal Ministry of Environment, through the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, recently hosted a stakeholders meeting in Port Harcourt to discuss strategic steps towards environmental protection in Ogoniland. Obong Usoro reports.
Following the approval of recommendations by Professor Dam, Barry Dam's Technical Committee for the Center of Excellence and Environmental Restoration, CEER, the Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas, reaffirms government's commitment to ensuring a cleaner and safer Ogoniland. Speaking at the meeting, Professor Nani Barini Zabi said the gathering marks a critical milestone in government's efforts to implement the United Nations Environment Programme UNEP recommendations in the region. He emphasized that the provision of potable water, shoreline cleanup, and mangrove restoration remains key priorities.
In line with the directives contained in the Hybrid Establishment Gazette, the establishment of the Center of Excellence for Environmental Restoration is a key recommendation of the United Nations Environment Programme report on Ogoniland.
But after everything would have finished about oil exploration or maybe our cleanup, this is what we are going to see. Now, since it's a key recommendation.
Delivering the keynote address, international researcher Professor Craig Sample noted that innovation, operational methods can further enhance sustainability and accelerate the pace of cleanup projects in Ogoniland.
And that collaboration is not just about bringing researchers from the university sector together, or from research institutes. It's also about bringing in
Stakeholders at the meeting agreed that collaboration, transparency, and effective monitoring remains essential to achieving lasting restoration and rebuilding the trust of the Ogoni people. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
Governor Dauda Lawal of Zamfara State has called on Christians and Muslims to live together in peace and harmony, urging mutual respect and appreciation of differences that exist between the two faiths. He made the call at the Government House Gusau when he received the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria and heads of various Christian denominations who paid him an appreciation visit. Now, the governor commended the association chairman, Evangelist Jubil Afolabi, and other Christian leaders for their visit, describing it as a demonstration of unity and goodwill. He reiterated his administration's commitment to ensuring the welfare and comfort of all Christians in the state. You are watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, Enekwuchi leads Nigeria's contingent to Saudi Games. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Prime on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, across Nigeria, young people are seizing digital opportunities to redefine work and create new career paths in the fast-changing world. As innovation reshapes every sector, how ready are Nigerian youths to compete in this digital economy? Sadiatou Garba takes a look at the digital opportunities and now reports.
Nigeria's youth population is turning technology into a tool for empowerment. From coding and data analysis to digital marketing and design, tech skills are opening doors to new forms of employment and entrepreneurship, both locally and globally. Unlike many traditional jobs that are shrinking, the tech industry keeps expanding, offering young Nigerians flexible options like remote work, freelancing, and global job placement.
It's a very good welcome idea to the economy as large, because if you look at the system, even the economy, there is no job. So if youth have that privilege to get online texting and they're making something, I believe it's something that everyone can do.
To build on this momentum, both government and private initiatives are driving digital empowerment. The National Information Technology Development Agency's 3 Million Technical Talent Program, for instance, is training thousands of youths in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and data science. However, challenges such as unstable power supply, poor internet connectivity, and the high cost of learning materials continue to hinder many young people from reaching their full digital potential.
The benefit of the online skills people are learning today, it's very important. The benefits, one of the benefits is it brings more income, more economics development to the country, and it also improve the standards of our economics.
So it's very beneficial, especially to our youth these days, because there's no job in the country. But online you can get a job if you can just spare your time 2 hours, 3 hours a day. You'll be able at the end of the week to earn some dollars. And when that comes into your account and you change it to Naira, you have some money to keep body and soul together and forge ahead.
Experts say incorporating digital education into school curriculums and making tech training more accessible could unlock massive economic growth and help Nigeria harness its youthful population effectively. As Nigeria races towards a digital future, the focus must shift from awareness to real action, empowering every young Nigerian with the skills to thrive in a technology-driven world. Sadiatou Garba for Global Television.
Oil marketers have described the recent introduction of 15% import duty on petrol and diesel by the federal government as very challenging and would lead to an increase in the price of petroleum products. They say the government is making it difficult for players who are importing petroleum products to make up for the shortfall from the local refiners who they say are not producing enough to meet local demand. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had some days ago approved a 15% ad valorem import duty on diesel and petrol. On the foreign news now, Kenyan opposition leaders have condemned Tanzania election as a sham amid reports of mass casualties and a digital blackout, questioning President Ruto's silence as regional stability hangs in the balance. Kenyan politician Martha Koral, Professor Kalvitar Kubwana, and Kenya Human Rights Commissioner Kumashetis Madoka gave a press statement on the situation in Tanzania, where hundreds are feared dead after post-election protests. Uyi Agbomofuegbe reports.
The Kenyan political figures, in their fierce condemnation of the electoral exercise and its outcome, labeled the landslide victory of President Samia Suluhu Hassan a fraudulent exercise conducted amid a violent state crackdown and a communications blackout, calling on regional institutions to show leadership. Their remarks made at a press conference in Nairobi amplify regional concerns over a deepening political crisis in the neighboring country that threatens East African stability.
Anybody who tries to legitimize what has happened in Tanzania does not wish Tanzania well, does not wish Africa well. We need to overcome the impunity that has become king in the region of East Africa and in parts of Africa. We are looking for leadership from the AU, from the sub-regional bodies.
Kivutha Kibwana is a Kenyan politician and human rights activist. He was Minister for Defense, Minister for Environment, and a member of the parliament for the Makueni constituency in the East African country. By his assessment, he says the scale of human rights concerns left in the wake of the Tanzanian election makes it impossible to rate the exercise as credible.
Given the human rights and current security situation in Tanzania, it is impossible to say that credible elections took place on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. It is now day 5 of the internet blackout amidst mass killings and a fraudulent electoral process.
The Electoral Commission said Hassan won 97.66% of the votes, with turnouts at 87%, despite reports from journalists and other observers that polling stations were largely empty. Uyi Agbomofuegbe reporting for Global TV News.
British police are investigating a mass stabbing abroad, a London-bound train on Saturday night. Several passengers were injured and 2 suspects were arrested. Authorities say there is nothing to suggest terrorism. Mokhtar Kasim has more.
The attack happened around 7:40 p.m. on a train from Doncaster to London's King Cross. The train made an emergency stop at Huntingdon Station, where armed officers quickly boarded and detained 2 men within minutes. 10 people were hospitalized, though most have now been released. 2 victims remain in critical condition.
Is here good, ladies and gents? Bit closer. Good. 10 people were taken to hospital by ambulance, and another person self-presented later that evening. While 9 were initially believed to have life-threatening injuries, following assessment and treatment, 4, thankful to say, have been discharged. However, 2 patients remain in a life-threatening condition. British Transport Police declared a major incident yesterday, and counter-terrorism policing were initially supporting our investigation. However, at this stage, there is nothing to suggest that this is a terrorist incident.
Police confirmed both suspects were born in the United Kingdom and appealed for calm amidst false claims circulating online. Prime Minister Keir Starmer called the attack deeply concerning, while King Charles said he was appalled and shocked. Train services through Huntingdon remain disrupted as investigations continue. Knife crimes have surged across England and Wales in recent years, fueling public concern and prompting call for tougher laws and community engagement. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News.
In sports stories now, Nigeria's athletics team for 2025 Islamic Solidarity Game has been unveiled on the event official website, with African champion and Commonwealth Games medalist Chukwuebuka Enewuchi leading a 25-athlete contingent determined to make a strong statement in Saudi Arabia. The 6th edition of the Islamic Solidarity Game will be staged from November 7 to 21st at the Prince Faisal bin Fahd Sports City Stadium, a 22,000 capacity venue set to host some of the contingent's finest athletes. Nigeria has a modest record in athletics at the Islamic Solidarity Game, having won 3 silver and 1 bronze medal in 2017, the only edition where it reached the podium in track and field. Overall, Nigeria has won 11 medals in Games history across various sports. Still on sports, the league phase of the 2025-26 UEFA Champions League hits its halfway mark on Tuesday and Wednesday. Matchday 4 arrives with drama scripted across Europe, 18 games, countless storylines, and a stage where heroes, heartbreak, and history are never far apart. From Anfield to Paris, Turin to Prague, as the world's greatest club competition enters its next act. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, let's take a quick look at our top stories again. Brought to you that President Bola Tinubu has directed Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare to ensure that members of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors who are on strike resume work immediately. In business, oil marketers have described the recent introduction of 15% import duty on petrol and diesel by the federal government as very challenging and would lead to an increase in the price of petroleum products. And on sports stories, Kenyan opposition leaders have condemned Tanzania election as a sham, amid reports of mass casualties and a digital blackout, questioning President Ruto's silence as regional stability hangs in the balance. And finally, in sports, Nigeria's athletics team for 2025 Islamic Solidarity Game has been unveiled on an event official website, with African champion and Commonwealth Games medalist Chukwuebuka Enewuchi leading a 25-athlete contingent determined to make a strong statement in Saudi Arabia. And that's it on Global TV News Prime. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @GlobalTVNG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.